pre-check. It's lifestyle not for you, but it's for me. Seen it myself for years. The vision is mine alone. Just me, myself, no peers. Yeah.
It's week 7 of the NFL, and we'll see James Conner. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Cardinals and the Saints under the lights on Thursday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on some few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 17 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Greg Dortch back deep. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense takes the field, and no surprises. The man that's guiding them, the Pro Bowler in his 4th season at the wheel of this offense, Kyler Murray.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going at the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Murray now. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. The Cardinals at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. They have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know.
Now we're going to get another look at this one. Dennis Allen.
Have to review
so
the
play. The challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Now Murray again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So this game, Charles, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. This is the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Out left to Anderson. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. They're going for it. Hits Murray. This is caught. Touchdown. Zach Ertz. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Prater for the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth the salt yet that ever admits to worried about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, Dortch. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Oh, fancy running by Murray. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. His pass caught at the 4. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Finding Ertz again. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball. Touchdown, Cardinals! Zach Ertz, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Cardinals go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point good by Prater, and it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Camara, and he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Dalton off play action. Looking sideline, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have now allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Steps away. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Dortch on the return. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. First down, Murray. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Murray. Be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Triple foul. Defense. Automatic first down.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Throwing again, Murray. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
To throw is Murray. Escaping the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, He's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Taking it about the 1. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. On third down, here's Kamara. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Passing, it's Dalton. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. J.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. Throwing on second and long. Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
No surprise to see that one, partner. The league's number 1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one, they've made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And then lastly, Monday Night Football. It's a classic Super Bowl rematch from 36 years ago. The Bears and Patriots from Foxborough. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Saints. And this tells the story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Murray. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
Now Prater to add the PAT. I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, we're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
He gets this one to Johnson.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw here, Dalton. And that's off the mark, incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Dalton here from the gun.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards will take over possession here up at the 44. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Forced out to his left. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. From the gun, Murray. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, he's been fun to watch in this one. He's made the correct reads all game long and helped stake his team a huge lead. Running, passing, he's made all the right decisions. But that wasn't the right read on that one. It falls incomplete.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
And Dalton to throw. Being chased out left.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Big fourth down here. It's Dalton. Here's Johnson with a reception.
And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Dalton. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cardinals are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And some space here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
They'll run here with Connor, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Connor will take this one in. It's a Cardinal touchdown. Another touchdown in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this, but to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there.
and sometimes it has a way of catching up with it.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw, and he's got the hook up to Landry. 7 yards there and a first down. So Dalton now.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Another chance for Dalton. Complete. It's Johnson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10 toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Dalton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now Dalton.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for Arizona, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
When the members on and get it going, Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like,